Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org.
Federal funding is gone, rescinded by the U.S. Senate, including money already committed to Boise State Public Radio. For rural communities, that means more than a loss of news or music. It means the potential loss of access to emergency information. If this station has ever helped you feel safer, more informed, or less alone, this is the moment to give. Donate at boisestatepublicradio.org.
More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudet. Outside of Spain, Idaho is home to one of the largest populations of Basque people in the United States. And as it happens, it's also home to one of the Basque Country's oldest grape varieties, Tempranillo. So this year, the red wine has gained special recognition by the Idaho Wine Commission as they declared 2025 the year of Tempranillo. So joining us now to talk more about the wine and its origins is Melanie Kraus, a winemaker and owner of Cinder Wines. Melanie, nice to have you on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So Melanie, can you talk to us a little bit more about the origin of Tempranillo and the grapes?
Well, sure. Yeah, it's from the Spain and the Basque region. These varieties are really old, so we can't say an exact place, I don't think, where they came from. But where it's grown today is all this north central Basque region, and lots of it's grown in other places like Idaho, or maybe not lots, not compared to Spain, but enough that it's important to us here in Idaho and Snake River Valley.
So why does the variety do so well here?
Yeah, well, if you think about the Basque Country, a lot of people will imagine, and if they've been or they've seen pictures, a lot of green and coastal, and that doesn't sound much like Snake River Valley. But if you go over the Pyrenees to the edge of the Basque Country, where you're in the foothills of the Pyrenees, going west from there, you have a huge region that looks a lot like what we live in here. Hot summers, cold winters, dry, high elevation, all the things that kind of make southern Idaho and eastern Oregon grow great grapes. That's the same as there in Spain. And so we have enough similarity of climate that we can make really great Tempranillo here.
You know, I was in Spain last summer, and that was the thing that hit me the most was how similar the climate is to this area. I wasn't expecting that at all. So it does make sense that, oh, we have a similar climate, so certain grapes would do well here.
Yeah, the edges of Spain all around on the oceans are really green and totally different climate, but the interior of Spain is very similar to the interior west, where you have these great big mountains that keep the rain out and make for some really great grape growing conditions.
So I've also heard that this particular wine, you can make it different ways. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because it can be a rosé, it can be a light red, it could be a full-bodied red.
Yeah, it has lots of flexibility. We do make it as rosé occasionally, and of course they do that over in the old country. And it's great as a rich red wine, though. That's going to be the majority of the styles that you find as richer red wines. And I love it because it pairs so well with some of the things that we do well here in Idaho in terms of food, which mostly I'm thinking about meat, like amazing
Hmm.
beef, lamb, and then all your games. Like I love pairing it with elk and deer, just delicious.
So for folks who may not be as familiar with Tempranillo, can you kind of give us a bit of a flavor profile? I mean, as you just mentioned, it goes really well with certain proteins.
Yes, well, within the portfolio of wines I make, I think of it as our biggest, heftiest, strongest red wine that we make. So great aromas of like cherry, but also some leathery or earthier notes. Sometimes it tends towards black olive, and then big, rich tannins. So the finish is full. It's not a wine that you would necessarily just like sip on with no food. This is much more of a wine that's going to be helped out by having some food with some fat in it, kind of help you not feel the tannins quite so much or balance them out, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we make both styles, but predominantly we make the big, hefty red wines.
So before I let you go, Hyaldi's coming up. I am only going to imagine that there's going to be a lot of this wine at many events. So, but if people want to try it before Hyaldi, how can they do that? I mean, they can come to your winery. Do you have tastings there, correct?
Yes, Cinder Winery, absolutely. We make a lot of Tempranillo, and you're welcome to come in and try it. We did make a special bottling of Tempranillo for Hyaldi 10 years ago
Oh.
for the Bass Soccer Friendly. That was very fun. We don't have a specific bottling for this Hyaldi, but we still have plenty of delicious Tempranillo. So please, by all means, come on down to Garden City or just ride your bike down the Greenbelt and visit us.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Melanie, for coming in and talking with us. We've been speaking with Melanie Krause. She is a winemaker and owner of Cinder Wines. You can go visit in Garden City. We've been discussing one of the most popular red wines here in the state of Idaho, Tempranillo. This is the Idaho Matters podcast. I'm Gemma Gaudette.
These days, there's so much news, it can be hard to keep up with what it all means for you, your family, and your community. The Consider This podcast from NPR features our award-winning journalism. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a news story and provide the context and analysis that helps you make sense of the news. We get behind the headlines. We get to the truth. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.